Welcome to Hero Villains. Follow you between Dr. Manhattan vs. Beyonder, Clash of the Ultimates. Who will win? Dr. Manhattan is one of the most powerful beings in the DC universe, possessing almost limitless power after being disintegrated in a nuclear physics experiment. He has the ability to manipulate matter at the subatomic level, travel through time, exist in the multiverse, and even create life. Manhattan has superhuman awareness, seeing the past, present, and future simultaneously, making him virtually invincible. He can destroy or restructure anything, from biological bodies to entire universes. The Beyonder in the Marvel Universe is an entity that surpasses the Celestials, Eternity, and the Living Tribunal. Originally, he was an entity outside the multiverse, possessing limitless power to the point of being able to alter reality with a single thought. During the Secret Wars event, the Beyonder can destroy cosmic entities, create or destroy entire realities with ease. He is not limited by space, time, or the laws of physics. Before we dive into the analysis, please click the subscribe button. Please remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you very much. The Beyonder's power at this time not only far surpasses Dr. Manhattan, but is also millions of times greater than any other entity in Marvel. It has been said that the energy he possesses surpasses the entire Marvel universe, including the Living Tribunal, one of the most powerful entities. The Beyonder can even manipulate or surpass cosmic concepts such as death, the Goblin Force, which easily destroyed the Phoenix Force and Galactus. This means that he is not only on the level of Marvel's divine entities, but can also turn them into tools for his own amusement. While Dr. Manhattan possesses incredible power, before the Beyonder he was just an insignificant small entity. The pre-retcon Beyonder is not an omnipotent entity, but that does not mean he has any real limits. His only weakness lies in not using his full potential, not because he is bound by any rules. He could have achieved omnipotence at any time if he wanted to, but chose not to do so out of some sort of principle or personal integrity. The Beyonder is a being of overwhelming power compared to Dr. Manhattan. In every aspect, from pure power to control of reality, the Beyonder is overwhelmingly superior. Manhattan can manipulate time, but that becomes meaningless when faced with a being like the Beyonder. Some theories suggest that the Beyonder is of the same species as the other Beyonders, but he is far superior. Regular Beyonders have defeated and destroyed the Living Tribunal, one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe. The Beyonder possesses power beyond the laws of the universe to the point that he can kill death and resurrect it just because he wants to. The Beyonder's ability to manipulate reality is so powerful that he can destroy an entire universe with a single thought. Even the Living Tribunal is completely powerless against the Beyonder. There is no power in the universe that can truly challenge him. In the ADS comics, the pre-retcon Molecule Man was arguably the second most powerful being. He went toe-to-toe with the pre-retcon Beyonder in a rare fight where the Beyonder didn't immediately overwhelm his opponent. While Molecule Man ultimately lost, the fact that he was able to fight the Beyonder on a near equal level is a testament to his incredible power. More importantly, after the Beyonder destroyed the universes, Molecule Man himself used his powers to repair and recreate them, with the pre-retcon Beyonder making the match a little more interesting. This version was actually created before TOAA and was basically the equivalent at the time. The folks at Marvel have described him as the god before the Genesis. His exact power level is unknown, but we do have some information to rely on, both from the actual story and from the writers. First, I'll give you some evidence based on the story. So, Molecule Man was one of the most powerful characters at the time. The Living Tribunal, basically the judge of the entire Marvel multiverse and the right-hand man of TOAA, was much weaker than him at the time. Molecule Man is weaker than he was in the current timeline. So in the comics, we see the Beyonder completely ignore an attack by Molecule Man that was stated to be capable of destroying billions of dimensions. We also have Molecule Man describing the difference in power between him and the Beyonder as infinitely greater than the difference between Captain America and himself. Based on Molecule Man's feats above, that's pretty impressive, although hardly comparable to Infinite. It's also stated that he was essentially omnipotent and omniscient in terms of power, and was later revealed to have been intentionally limiting himself the entire time. So everything we have of the Beyonder before the retcon from the comics is him being at a fraction of his true power. I mentioned the whole God before Genesis thing. The most important statement about the Beyonder's true power comes from Stan Lee, who said that the Beyonder is the TOAA of his own multi-dimensional universe. This alone puts him in the league of supreme beings like the Presence and TOAA. As a quick note, I should mention that the Beyonder pre-retcon is, by lore, from outside the Marvel multiverse. In fact, he has been described as his own independent multiverse, equivalent to the entirety of Marvel or the entirety of In the Thanos Annual 2014, the Infinity Gauntlet puts him on the same power level as Odin, Zeus, the Celestials, and the Stranger, but far below other cosmic entities like Master Order, Lord Chaos, Mistress Love, and Sire Hate, who are in turn far below Eternity and Infinity, who are far below the Living Tribunal, who are far below the Beyonders. Despite his superior intellect and superior computational abilities, Dr. Manhattan's power level was still not accurately measured when he attempted to eliminate him. This suggests that Manhattan exists on a level far beyond the normal limits, and we can accept that Manhattan has truly reached omnipotence. Not only does he possess the ability to manipulate matter and energy at the atomic level, but he can also see the future, past, and present at the same time, rendering any strategy against him futile. Furthermore, the events of the series have reinforced the notion that Manhattan's abilities may have no real limits. Any evidence that has emerged points to him having the potential to reach true omnipotence. Dr. Manhattan's powers are not limited to a single universe, but extend to the entire DC multiverse. He can move between timelines and realities with ease, manipulating the laws of the universe on a level that few entities can match. It was Manhattan who caused the New 52 reboot, which completely changed the DC timeline, causing the JSA to cease to exist, and maintaining the Flashpoint reality even though it should have disappeared after Barry Allen fixed it. These achievements have put Manhattan on a level far beyond any entity within the boundaries of the DC multiverse. Unlike entities like Galactus, who are bound by the Marvel hierarchy of power, Manhattan does not belong to that rule. Even the Living Tribunal, TLT, the entity considered the embodiment of order in the Marvel multiverse, only operates within the scope of his universe, while Manhattan can manipulate and control multiple multiverses at the same time. More importantly, as long as Manhattan exists in any form, even if it is just a small part, he can still recreate himself, ensuring that his existence is never truly erased. Please subscribe to the channel, it helps us a lot, and moreover, you will see great videos every day. You are the best. Thank you very much. The Living Tribunal is an entity that transcends eternity, but is still below several superior entities, such as the pre-retcon Beyonder, the pre-retcon Molecule Man, the post-Secret Wars Molecule Man, Oblivion, the Fulcrum, and TOAA. Despite his role in maintaining the balance of the Marvel multiverse, the Tribunal does have certain limitations, and his greatest weakness is his ability to be destroyed by non-omnipotent beings, such as the Beyonder. However, the Beyonders are not truly omnipotent. When they first appeared, they were depicted as armored beings, not naturally organic in form. This armor glowed with immense energy, suggesting that this may be the true source of their power. This implies that the nature of the Beyonders may be more complex than what is shown, with Dr. Manhattan being a human who evolved into a godlike being after being disintegrated by the intrinsic field subtractor and reconstructing himself. It is even said that Manhattan is more powerful than Mr. Mixodex, a being from the 5th dimension. Pre-retcon Molecule Man is one of the most powerful beings that has come close to reaching the level of the pre-retcon Beyonder. This Beyonder not only possesses infinite dimensional power, but is also described as being millions of times more powerful than the entire Marvel multiverse. In a hypothetical confrontation, Dr. Manhattan would face power far beyond what he has ever seen. With his absolute control over matter, pre-retcon Molecule Man could completely defeat Manhattan with overwhelming force, weakening or even incapacitating him before he has a chance to fight back. Molecule Man once created a multiversal earthquake when he clashed with the post-retcon Beyonder, proving that he was at least multiversal level. Although Dr. Manhattan has never shown his full power, what he has done suggests that his potential is immense. Compared to ultimate beings like the one above all, TOAA, Manhattan is a small creature. If you put Hulk or Doctor Strange next to TOAA, they are like child's play compared to TOAA, and Manhattan is no exception. In the context of the universe they exist in, Manhattan can be considered a semi-omnipotent entity in DC. But when pitted against TOAA, the entity that represents the ultimate creation in Marvel, the outcome is almost certain. TOAA is essentially DC's equivalent of the Presence, and if Manhattan cannot defeat the Presence, then defeat against TOAA is obvious. Still, Manhattan is a formidable entity. In events like Doomsday Clock, he has become almost godlike, manipulating the timeline and even altering DC reality. The confrontation between Superman and Manhattan in this event is not only a testament to that, but also a major factor in shaping the universe in which he exists. Honestly, because both of them possess power beyond normal limits, comparing them is like comparing different levels of infinity, a nearly impossible feat. However, it is safe to say that if the fight took place in the DC universe, Dr. Manhattan would win, simply because he is in his own realm. Within that scope, Dr. Manhattan is the ultimate unchallenged entity. But if the confrontation takes place on neutral ground outside of any universe, the situation becomes more complicated. Both Dr. Manhattan and the Beyonder are ultimate entities with essentially limitless power. This leads to an unsatisfactory conclusion. However, given what has been shown, the Beyonder has one important advantage. He has already entered another universe outside his own, interfering with the domain of another ultimate entity, something we have never seen Dr. Manhattan do. Among his more obvious feats, Dr. Manhattan possesses the ability to manipulate matter and energy at the subatomic level. And while Manhattan has powers far beyond the limits of conventional wisdom, his abilities are still limited by the structure of the multiverse. Beyonder not only transcends the constraints of space and time, but can also manipulate the entire Marvel reality to an unimaginable extent. He is so powerful that even when weakened, he still stands above the supreme cosmic entities such as Eternity or the Living Tribunal. Furthermore, Beyonder Omega and his species have defeated the Celestials and the First Firmament, the entities that hold the power to create the universe. While both possess extraordinary power, Beyonder Omega seems to be on a higher level, as he can affect the very foundations of Marvel reality, while Dr. Manhattan, despite his power, is still bound to certain rules. Beyonder has a clear advantage. He has interfered with other realities without any significant limitations. Ultimately, considering his overall power and what has been shown, Beyonder is more likely to win this confrontation. I hope you enjoyed this fight. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's it for today's video. Thanks a lot.